My name is Jenette Buffum. I'm Lionel's Chief Compliance Officer. Being Chief Compliance Officer, it means that I have my hand in all departments at the institution. I am the one that's making sure that Lionel is up to standard with our accrediting body, which is the Distance Education Accrediting Commission. I'm also the one that's making sure that we're following all of the standards and regulations that our state regulatory body, BPE, puts out there. And then the US Department of Education has their own regulations and oversight. And by making sure that each department is following and meeting those standards, whether it's the interaction with the students, the marketing that we're putting out there, or even what our curriculum and the rigor of what that looks like.
Why would you say it's important for universities to be accredited?
Yeah, accreditation or like compliance as a whole is really about the protection of the student as well as the institution. Accreditation is essentially saying that we are meeting these minimum standards, that our curriculum has been reviewed for rigor, that our students going through the program are actually meeting the learning outcomes that we're stating that they're meeting, that our institution is financially responsible, that we're not at risk of shutting down and students being in danger of not being able to complete a program. It's saying that the information that we're putting out there is truthful and verifiable. So, really, again, it's just about the protection of the student, that Lionel is saying what we do and then we're following through and doing what we say. And they can enter and participate in our programs with the assurance that everything that we said that is going to happen while we're here happens, and that they're going to learn and they're going to leave with the knowledge of exercise science and what's needed within the industry.
National versus regional accreditation. Could you provide some insight into those two different accrediting bodies, or those terms at least?
Yeah, national accreditation, when it first started, meant that anyone within the US and in some instances globally could be accredited by a national accrediting organization. Regional accreditation, there are several regional accrediting bodies. It meant if you were part of the West Coast, you went to WASC. If you were part of SAC-COC, you're in that Florida area. It was essentially regional, and there were limitations on who they could accredit. They also used to be held to different standards. The US Department of Education came together and they said, we are holding both accrediting institutions or types of institutions to the same standards, and any institution that's accredited, whether regionally or nationally, should now be recognized the same. Any institution that goes through that process of being evaluated, they're essentially going through the exact same process, whether it's national or regional, and there is no difference anymore. The US Department of Education recognizes those accreditations as the same. The
Uh,
standards that they're putting out there are the same. Yes.
why is it imperative that as a university and as a student to know that guarantee are terms we cannot say?
Yeah, as an institution, we elect not to use that type of language. It's also part of our accreditation and regulatory standards that we have to meet to not use that language. And when it comes down to it, it's because it would be misleading if we chose to use that. When you talk about things like guaranteeing outcomes, guaranteeing employment, no institution can guarantee 100% of that for every student because there's so many external factors. You have things like market conditions, individual effort, geographic variables. If we were to use that, it would be misleading to the student. At the end of the day, I know while we can't guarantee that, we can support that students are going to get. The effort that Lionel is putting out there for our students are things like career preparation. While we can prepare them, we can't guarantee that at the end of the day they're going to leave and get a position right away. We are comfortable saying that we are going to prepare you for that field Now it's up to you to take what you've learned and put yourself out there within the industry. We're also in the support of setting up partnerships with employers so that there are opportunities for our students. But again, it's not guaranteed. It's just the initial setup, the initial meeting between a student and an industry partner, which is why it's important to have transparent data out there, things like placement and graduation rates and all of that, so that we're not misleading the student, that they're not assuming they're getting something that they're not going to get. That's part of what compliance is, being transparent. Again, it's that saying what you're doing and then following through and doing what you say. And at the end of the day, again, that's also for the protection of the student, just making sure that they're fully informed on when they first initially want to sign up and attend Lionel, but then also informed as a student as they continue throughout their program and what's expected, both from the institution and then from the student's end as well.
Why would students want to come to Lionel University?
Yeah, one, Lionel is an industry expert, right? If you want exercise science, our faculty members don't just teach it. They're all immersed within the field of exercise science in one way or another. So you're getting that industry expert, you're getting that person that has experience. But then you're also getting support and resources. Lion staff and employees continuously go above and beyond, and not just in the interactions with their students, but Lionel often goes above and beyond the standards that they have to meet for accreditation, as well as regulatory standards that we're supposed to meet. The accrediting body and your regulatory body set minimum standards. Lionel has the choice to go above that, and we do often in most areas. It's things like transparency, making sure that our students have a clear understanding of what our graduation rates are, our retention and attrition rates are. It's going above and beyond and setting up these industry partners and making them available to the students. And then resources. We have things like Connect, where if you need support with mental health or if you have maybe some financial issues that you're going through, we have people that can help set you up and get you on a better track or on the right track. So it's just really the overall experience that you're getting transparency up front, you're getting support while you're signing up and then throughout your program, as well as after. Lionel, I think, is the place to go.
Awesome. And just to wrap up, anything else, if somebody was watching this that you would like to tell them?
As far as compliance, it's when you have accreditation and when you're approved by a regulatory body, it really is the stamp of approval. You can go somewhere that is accredited and that's approved by their regulatory body, and you'll know that their curriculum has gone through a review process, that the rigor is there, that the quality of the programming is there. It's also things like marketing, making sure that marketing is truthful. So you know that the stuff that we're putting out is approved, it's meeting standard, that we're truthful, that we can be trusted, and that the financial practices are there. You're not at risk of having to transfer to another institution. And overall, just that students are receiving what they're promised from the beginning. And that's the whole point of compliance, is really being transparent and letting students know that this is a trustful institution and that they are going to be leaving with the outcomes that we said that they're going to leave with.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for your time, Jen.